Hello, everyone. Okay, so this just happened not long ago. Cabal member, no longer alive, has been haunted by software that I talked about in another video, and made to believe that they have to choose a negative path. Now, you may be wondering why. What's a negative path? A negative path is when you make choices where you are pulled and convinced to control and manipulate a person, a situation, a circumstance, to try and enforce your will upon another, to enslave them. Now, if you know anything about the cabal, it kind of may have been inherent in how they operated and may have been written in their policies and procedures if they wrote it down. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But I do know this, that when a haunted spirit comes through and is broken, and I realized that it was that they had chosen a negative path. And when I came to that realization, they said, do you know how hard it is to choose a positive path when you are the negative path, or when you are on the negative path, when you've been on the negative path, something along that lines. And I was taken back by that, because this life that they just had, this life existence, this period of time that they lived, and not even their entire life, that's the only negative path part of their entire life. Every existence prior to that had been on a positive path. And I told that spirit that. I told that spirit that there was only a limited number of specific situations that were negative path driven, negative path choices. They may have multiples of those choices, but there was only specific limited number that they needed to look at. And I couldn't figure out exactly why they would think that was hard, when the breadth of the expansion of who they are from every life existence prior was multitude of life experiences, multitude of various different situations where they were born into, that they learned from, that they explored, and that they rose up through. The different numbers of different types of careers, different learnings, different languages. There was a multitude of how they are. And to give that up and believe that these 27 or whatever the number could be for any one of us, to give that up, to give up who you have been, and believe that you are just this choice, these choices. It's not. Those choices you can look at and you can go, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want that to define me anymore. I do not want to limit myself in that way anymore. Now, if you can face that, knowing that you may have hurt someone, knowingly or unknowingly, and you can go, okay, I forgive. I choose differently. Then your power is healed in a positive path through divine healing power. And it's beautiful. And there's light. And there's love in unconditional ways. Someone had a problem with how I was talking or receiving messages from those that had passed, those that had died and had lived a life that they didn't agree with. Well, I'm not going to apologize for seeing who someone was prior to this life and not knowing who they were in this life, but encouraging them to know that they are worth more than the limited number of decisions they made in this life in comparison to the billions, trillions that they made in previous life in their previous lives. That if they allow themselves to forgive and move on, then it releases them from a depth of darkness that they don't need to hold on to anymore. They can drop it where it needs to drop, and that's not where their victims are. It's not where their coworkers are. It's at God's feet. And if you happen to be one of those victims or coworkers, you don't need to carry anything. You can allow it to go also. You can drop it wherever you need to. Probably not on someone's lap, not in someone's home, but drop it at Heaven's Gate. Say, I can't carry this anymore, Lord. I'm letting it all go. Because my life, my dreams, my aspirations, who I want to be, and the relationships I want to have in my life, they matter more than any resentment, pain, anger, trauma. They matter more. I matter more, is what you can say. You can look yourself in the eye. You can look in the mirror and go, I matter more than all of that baggage. Take care.